All right. Watch out for the goods. Hey. You. No. Pick the big, pick, grab, big timber, slide, that way. Yes. Okay, go. Stinking clan rats. Hey, what are you horrors doing? No, that's not the symbols you're supposed to be putting up there. No. Dang it, where's the changeling? Hey, what does Warper call him? Joe, changeling Joe? Yeah, there you are. What? Tell your horrors they need to be putting either elven or dwarven runes, not Zinchian stuff. Don't make me get Warper here.
You cowed.
Oh, okay. Well, tell your changeling that he has he needs to do better with monitoring his employees.
Come on, changing Jim. Come on, put in the corn runes. Sorry, I'm so sorry. They know better. Come
Please
on,
not
corn runes.
Please not the corn runes. No.
Hey, Gerald, where can I put this box of nails? I see the reconstruction is going less than stellar by the company you've hired.
Yeah, that's partially my fault, but you can just set them on this table here, and you broke, and the table's broken. Shit.
Well, at least I've got plenty of wood and now some more nails. We can build you a new one.
Okay, just watch your step. Just watch your step.
Right, sure. It was quite short-sighted of you to do that.
Oh, first thing is the bar open. I need a drink before I get started working.
I'll tell you what. I still have another one to give you on your house. What's pick your poison?
Oh, just a nice light medium alcoholic ale just to start. Nothing too strong.
Okay, one light ale coming up, and just foams a little. Hold on a second. Warper, did you actually put poison in this?
Possibly. It's hard to tell what dwarves are weak to. I need to figure that out.
When I asked for his pick as poison, I wasn't being literal.
As long as it's not too bad, I might just add a nice flavor to it. We'll give it a shot.
Well, here you go.
Hey, if you like Sunrush Access, be my guest.
No, we do not mention that that thing in this tavern.
Seems this tavern needs to be rebuilt quite often. You guys get into a lot of trouble down here, it seems.
You have no idea.
So, I mean, after last time, that was crazy.
Okay, after last time was just absolutely bonkers. Was not helped by Ray having to go all the way to Ulthuan for smokes and milk, and then the Nurgle infestation that happened in my home Carrick. That was nuts. And then we come back home, and then the tavern is literally on fire by the Cabal. And then right after that, the Covenant invade. What kind of ship am I running here?
I think we need some stronger protection runes.
I sneeze.
Yes. Okay. I see what you're doing here, Warper. I see what you're doing here. Trying to take over our tavern.
Oh goodness, no! I don't like paperwork.
Neither do I. That's why I try to run the bar.
So I don't think Zechian demons are known for job stability, so I don't think he's going to take over anything, at least not for long.
Yep, and I'm quickly learning not to contract Zinchian horrors for rebuilding the scaffolding.
Oh, they did it upside down. I don't know how they did that.
Just make sure they fix it, please.
Possibly.
So, Gerald, how long have you had this tavern up and running?
So, well, as of yesterday, we've been doing this 2 years.
Hey, blessings unto you.
Thank you very, very much. So yes, IRL. This is as of time of recording. Yesterday was Grimlore's 2nd anniversary. I am completely floored with just where did the time go? And I think I did a count. We did like 50. We've done like 50, 51 episodes at this point. counting Patreon unlocks, tavern lore, and other bonus content.
Very good. Well, I hope the podcast and the tavern weathers the years as well as a mountain weathers a storm.
Agreed.
Very, very good. Well, actually, this tavern's kind of been here long before Ray and I actually came upon it, or at least it looked like it'd been here. So, because it all started with, well, there's a nice little adventure that can be brought up another time about that. But basically, once Ray and I met and we kind of went along the road, we kind of happened upon this here tavern, which is like the remains of some kind of strange castle. So we just figured, hey, do we want to run a tavern here? And the rest is history. So yeah, fun stuff.
Some lore. Some tavern lore. Of the tavern.
Exactly. And that's why we have tavern lore episodes.
Well, credits.
So, okay. Yep. Okay. Hold on just one second, Warper. Hey. You. Big iron block. Go. Forge. Now. Okay.
I just grab them with warpstone, personally. Books every time.
I've just been just handed them pinches of warpstone from Ray's stash, and since he's where is he? I think he said he had to go get some go back to Ulthwan for more smokes, but we just restocked, and I don't know Elven stuff, so I hope he has a safe journey.
I'm sure he'll be fine. I told my horse to not go after him. I don't know what they're doing right now. I lost them about 10 minutes ago.
Well,
I'm sure
okay
he'll be
then.
fine. I'm sure he's fine.
He's a capable elf. He's a grown elf. He can take care of himself.
Are we talking about Ray? Sorry, I had to go direct one of my apprentices around there, bumbling about a little bit, but
It's okay. That's all right. Any dwarven help that actually knows how to put a tavern / castle back together is much appreciated.
no, they're learning. But Ray definitely seems like he's been a fine runner of this establishment with you, Gerald.
Yes, he handles all of the hospitality, so to speak. I handle all the drinks and food, and that's been a pretty good system so far.
Sounds like a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And the fact that neither of us actually likes paperwork is probably why there's a pile of papers in the staff room. Oops.
Paper's overrated.
Can I take those? I like paper.
Go for it. I hope
Maybe having the Zinchian demon do your taxes might have been not the smart choice.
I hope we just didn't accidentally commit imperial tax fraud.
Too late. 0.
0% interest, right?
0 taxes.
Works for me.
Very good.
Excellent. So I guess while the reconstruction is continuing on, I did get some scrolls in the mail concerning with some questions from our listeners. So let me get this one. Why does it smells of musk and I don't know. This is a whole new smell. Okay. Let's see what this is saying. When will Echo claim ownership rule of tavern and podcast? All right. I'm going to ignore that one. Let's see what this other one is.
Maybe I can create another tavern. It's not real. It's an illusion. And tell him he can have it. Then he goes, boom.
You know, I'm really curious to see how this plays out. So sure, let's do that.
Ah,
Let's see. Got another question out here, and they open up this. Why does this one smells bad too? What's going on? Why do dwarf beard things smell? Okay, I'm sensing a pattern here. I'll answer that one. I like alcohol.
I say smell like the best things. Absolutely. Beer, meat, fires, metal.
Mm-hmm. The
the blood of the
forges,
enemies.
the blood of the
Exactly.
enemies. Absolutely. Wait, now let's maybe not the blood part. That was kind of how Toasty came to existence in this tavern.
Only if they started it.
So funny story. Ray had in one of his warpstone addled highs said we should build a fighting pit for practice and to give this Echo and his Skaven bouncers some much needed practice. So I try to be a handy dwarf, so I'm doing a lot of the building myself. I accidentally said a few swear words and probably the wrong language and spilled some blood on the floor. And next thing I know, a 9-foot tall crotolid demon just showed up.
Not going to get your deposit back from that one, are you?
Definitely not going to give my deposit back, and I'm definitely not going to have any good night's sleep while I know he's watching me.
He's very infatuated with you. And never do I.
Say, at least with as much as this tavern goes through hell and gets attacked, I do understand Ray's desire for a fighting pit and to keep everybody's combat abilities in tip-top shape. But it does seem like the demon has thrown his weight around and pulled his weight in protecting this tavern a time or two.
You know what? You're actually kind of right. And as far as I've noticed, like outright brawls within the tavern have kind of gone down to zero. So I guess enough people are figuring out their differences in the fighting pits. And then Ray and I get to make a lot of money off of the betting.
And just have Ray mop up the blood afterwards.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
I try so hard to make tavern brawl fights. Toasty's too scary to make people to fight normally.
Warper, I imagine as a changer of ways, you would be an excellent bookie for the fighting pits.
Oh, goodness, I would never fight. Everyone else can fight for me, though.
Here's a secret. He is a bookie. That's why we're making so much money off of this.
Excellent.
People think I'm a tax collector, but I'm not. I just look like one.
Oh, man. Okay. I got a couple more scrolls with some questions on it. This one smells like animal hair and let's see, I'm just looking at this. This says a lot of braying on it. Try and make this out. This looks like Beastman writing. Okay. I'm able to pick it out. When are we going to return to regular episodes? We kind of did with the Cabal and the Covenant from Halo, but I guess, dear questioner, if you're referring to back to Warhammer Fantasy, that's a good question. Whenever Ray comes back from his spur of the moment Ulthuan trip, we will get right back to it.
I was going to ask something similar. I know this tavern is a great place to sit and listen to tales of the old world, tales of your home, of the different homelands of the different species in the world of Warhammer. And yeah, I was curious what if there was any plans for any upcoming topics of legend.
I'm sure Ray won't mind. But we had talked about doing a deep dive on the Chaos Dwarves, especially with the release of the Hellsmiths of Heshut from Age of Sigmar. We thought that would be
from spitting on your brand new floor at the mention of them, but
But remember, just like you said in the Covenant episode, the best way learn to understand your enemy is to learn them. So
It is true. I did say that, and it is still true.
so think of it in that light before you spit on the brand new teak flooring. What is our next question here? Are there any characters from the franchises you've covered that you would like to do a deep dive on? Oh yes, definitely. Like, I'm sure Ray has a bunch of Destiny characters he would just love to have like singular episodes for, and at least with Halo, there are quite a few characters that we can do a deep dive on that. And then Dark Souls and Dragon Age and what are the other franchises I've talked about? Like all that stuff, they have like several fantastic characters to go over and talk about. I will give you a hint. The next time I cover Dark Souls is going to cover a very much fan favorite boss. And so I will find a way to make a 2.5 hour episode out of that. So
yeah, I just listened to the stories that were being told of the Elder Scrolls and the gods that exist within that world. And I'm sure there is a plethora of deep dives that could be gone in that universe as well.
Oh, absolutely. And with Echo's and Toasty's knowledge of that universe, I'm sure that they will be happy to come back and do another deep dive on that at some point in time, provided Ray and I don't get captured and knocked out and tied to a cart.
I remember when I started playing Skyrim for the first time, I think this also might have been around the time when I had broken my ankle, but I just went on hours and hours of rabbit holes on the Elder Scrolls wiki, just like reading the lore and the backstories from like all the different games and everything. And there is so much. And I just like all of these different universes that you all talk about. There is a lot, and a lot of times a lot more than people would expect there to be. Like I know, not being a Dark Souls player myself, listening to that first Dark Souls episode, just like feeling it just breaking the tip of the iceberg, just cracking through the tip of that mountain of lore that exists in that universe that I never would have expected to be there.
And that's the crazy thing with something like Dark Souls. Like I'm not much of I have not played much Elder Scrolls, but from what I've seen some my friends play, and from what Echo and Toasty have taught us, there's just so much to it. And then it's the same thing with Dark Souls. It's just like there's not that much dialogue to it, and almost everything is usually done in like there's hardly any kind of background music or anything. So like the environment is really how you take it all in. And then if you have the time or the patience or the level of like attention to detail by like reading all the item descriptions, that's how you really figure it all out. And so, yeah, with the first Dark Souls episode, I think it was I was talking about the dragons was like the first half of it was just the setup for the setting, so I could actually talk about the dragons without losing people.
And sometimes you need that context. Like if you just started talking about the dragons themselves without setting up the context of the world and why it is the way it is, you lose a lot of the nuance. And like I used to play a lot of Destiny. Like I played pretty much everything in Destiny 1. I played the beginning couple things in Destiny 2. And like with that environmental storytelling you're talking about, like I feel like that game also benefited a lot from that, because a lot of the lore and that was through like the data cards, but you could still get a lot of interesting tidbits through the environmental storytelling there. Or like I've played a lot of World of Warcraft, and they have done a lot of environmental storytelling in that game as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think you said before, like WoW was one of your specialties.
Yeah, WoW is somewhere where I have probably probably my most lore knowledge is within World of Warcraft. And I was actually thinking about it, like surprising amount of dark things in that too. Like I was thinking more in the context of like Blizzard for grimdark, or from Diablo for grimdark Blizzard games, which it very much is. Like currently in Diablo, similar to in Destiny, 90% of humanity is dead. It's not good. It's not good for anybody. But like thinking about like WoW, like World of Warcraft, and partially because of the nature of the game, but like in universe WoW, it is just catastrophe after tragedy after horrific world-shattering event. But it's all in like the game is in very bright colors, so it doesn't always seem that way. But it's just a lot of terrible things happening over and over and over and over again. Yeah, if you ever want to talk about it like on the side sometime, and if you'd be interested in talking about it, like more in a show, cool. If not, like also cool. But it is, I've enjoyed it for a very long time, and yeah.
I'm certainly not opposed to having a WoW episode as a mainline one. I just know for me, I don't have that kind of knowledge. I played very little of like the Wrath of the Lich King, and then because I remember seeing the trailer for it, and then like the Lich King like summoned Sindragosa, which looked very similar to a design I did for just like a for like one of my own homebrew characters from years and years ago. And then I think I saw a trailer for, I want to say it was Cataclysm with Dreadwing, with the giant dragon with the fiery wings. If I'm not mistaken. Deathwing. Okay. But I never played it myself because I wasn't in the I was too poor to afford like the constant monthly subscription. So
yeah, I get it. It definitely like weighs on after a bit. And that also got me thinking. I guess another question for both you, for Gerald, you, and for you, Warper, as well. Is there a universe that you feel is more grimdark, or at least just more like, or has a lot more darker elements to it than people would give it credit for, think on a surface level? This is also like to think about. We can come. It can also be coming back to later, but like I said, like with WoW, playing the game or whatever, the game is designed with like a lot of very bright colors and cartoonish aesthetics, but it's just a lot of terrible things happening to good people.
Funny up Star Wars.
Oh, I would absolutely agree with you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep, and we actually did a crossover with the Star Lores podcast with Christian and Jordan.
I spent that today or yesterday. That episode.
Good. That was a fun episode. And
that was a really cool episode.
Yeah, and you realize, just like you were saying, Fuzz, you realize there's like a lot of, even though like it is painted as like a heroic sci-fi space opera. With like a lot of like high fantasy elements and sci-fi elements to it, there's a lot of dark stuff underneath when you peel back the layers.
Yeah, I can't remember which one of you guys had brought it up, but and Warper, I imagine you agree with this, is that like, especially like the core, I guess, of Star Wars, like the original trilogy is very much just a like kind of like black and white, good versus evil. Through line for the plot and the story. But as you get into the expanded universe and other movies and the different shows and comics and everything, it gave them a lot more leeway to explore darker elements and maybe expand on more interesting dark theories and tones that people had about the series and different characters. I think it did a lot with it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, hold on just 1 second. Hey, you. No, stop. Nails. No. Ooh. Talk about acupuncture gone wrong.
Apprentice, go get the claw hammer and go get those out of him.
Yeah, no, don't tell Echo one of his storm fiends got turned into a porcupine.
Should I add the tetanus to it?
I say, that might be a feature, not a bug now.
Oh, tetanus, go.
Oh, he's writhing and he's stiffening. Oh, okay. Maybe I this is the closest I've ever been to feeling bad for a rat.
I feel
But to answer your question, Fuzz, of another franchise with the that has like a lot of darker stuff beneath, I would probably say, and this is actually a franchise I do want to cover at some point in the future, would be Fable.
Okay, it's been a minute, but those were very, very good games. I had very fun games. I enjoyed those.
For anyone that doesn't know what Fable is, I think the first one came out in like 2001, got updated in 2004, and then had at least 2 sequels. Plus, there was something going on with like back when the Xbox like had that Connect whatever thing, but it didn't do so well. But it's a series of RPGs set in like fictionalized medieval slash 18th century slash steampunk era Great Britain, and it's presented in like a very, I'd say like Monty Python-esque type of British humor.
I would,
but then
yeah.
But then when you actually look back, there's like a lot of crazy dark stuff going on, but it's presented in like a very much black comedy kind of way. So that is definitely a franchise I want to cover at some point. Once I clear this other backlog of episode ideas I have, so
I said there are a lot of interesting places this tavern could visit, a lot of interesting stories the bards could tell here about different worlds and the darkness within them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when Warp, and then I think trying to remember, Warper, when did you first show up? When did you first
warp in?
When did you first?
Oh gosh,
We'll be here all week.
It was like right before you guys made the Discord. It was like before the Patreon. It was like when you guys were like super early.
I'm trying to think because we created the Discord, released the first 2 episodes, and it was probably maybe like a week or 2 after that we created the Patreon, and I think you were like the 4th one to sign up.
Yeah,
for it.
Like
so.
One of the first ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I guess so. If you're one of the first ones, I think I might still be the newest one, for at least for the Patreon.
Yeah, you're the newest for the Patreon. But so Warper, you've pretty much been here since almost the beginning.
Nice.
So I think and I think that put a bug in Zinch's mind, and he must have cursed this tavern because of all the other franchises and universes that we've delved into at this point now.
That's where all the universe hopping comes from and the plane shifting.
Yep.
My bad. I've really bad dandruff. You know, it kind of just happens, and universes just converge.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
So, and I think Ray and I got it figured out that this tavern kind of just sits in in a nexus of sorts. Like we're technically sitting in the Warhammer Fantasy universe, but then like you can easily make it jump to other universes. It's weird. Especially after I discovered that Dungle's ship can fly.
Say, Warper, did you put any hidden runes around the building?
Oh, I don't do runes. I don't know about my horse in changing those, though.
No marks, no hexes, no enchantments you've laid about the place.
Oh, goodness, no, that's not my style. I just drive you crazy by my very presence.
Ah!
Oh, slow. Wow, it took
Oh.
2 years for that to happen. Getting rusty.
I had to chug some beer to get over that.
Nah, I'm just getting used to him. It's like that episode of SpongeBob when the Flying Dutchman just crashes at his place for months on end, and then he tries to scare SpongeBob, and then SpongeBob's just like, eh.
That's legit just me at the tavern. Just,
yeah.
Will,
Eh.
Gerald, do you have any more scrolls to read with questions from the tavern's patrons?
I think. Oh wait, I think I got one more. I got one more. Favorite Destiny alien species. That's a pretty good one.
Ooh.
I'm gonna stick with my. As much as I enjoyed learning about the Cabal, I think I'm still gonna stick with the Fallen for this because they. I think I mentioned this before in the Fallen episodes. Like they remind me the most of Halo's elites, which are my favorite. Which are my favorite species from that franchise. So.
So I know for me, I for a while it was the Fallen because I really liked the idea of them being this reminder to humanity of this is what you can become too. The traveler came to us and left us. We are what you can become if he ever gets away, you know. And also, kind of conversely, the Fallen looking at humanity and it's like, we used to be you, and like that jealousy from them.
I really like that line of thinking. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Again, kind of adding to the grim darkness of Destiny that I did not pick up on when I first started playing the game, but as I was reading the lore and stuff. I don't know, because I really like the Cabal. I like the structure. I like the aesthetics. I like their units and everything. I like that like the Empire system. I'm not a huge fan of God, why can't I remember the name of like the zombie ones? Like the very like necrotic guys. I don't know
Would that be the Hive?
Yes, the Hive. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of the Hive. They've got really good lore. They've got some really interesting stuff. But to me, they're very much just like, we're the bad guys. We are, we're the darkness, kind of like in physical form. Sometimes not even that. Like, so they're just kind of like that standard evilness, but they do have some really neat lore behind them. I don't know enough about the Vex, and I guess I could just go read about them, but I would really be interested to hear kind of like Ray's take, especially as like a hardcore Destiny player. I know I've heard like some theories and little bits and pieces of lore around the Vex. But it'd be interesting to see what has been confirmed about them. But I guess from the ones that like I know more about, I'd probably it's between the Cabal and the Fallen, but just I like different things about them. Like I like that, again, that like ragged survivor jealousy aspect of the Fallen, but I also like that just high space military. We have come to take what we have decided is ours, and especially like in Destiny 2, we have decided that your guardian powers are going to be ours. They figured out how to do it. Like they're just both very cool.
Absolutely. I keep telling myself I want to get back into playing it, and I have the first Destiny, the collection with like all the DLC and everything, and I keep meaning to get myself carve out some time to actually be able to play co-op with Ray, because one of the things that we wanted to do for a while was actually do like a video episode, since Spotify does that now actually. Of yes, a video episode of us doing like co-op Destiny or co-op Halo, and doing a lore episode that way. But it's just scheduling and timing, that kind of thing is just so hard. Anybody that's does the kind of podcast that we or Lorehammer, Hobby Happy Hour, all of them do, Star Lores, it's very difficult to get like schedules lined up, especially when we're like, I know I'm in one. I think we're all in the same time zone actually.
Are we all Eastern?
Yep.
I think
I say we, like I'm a fucking host of this fucking show, but
well, you're part of the show, so
I guess that's true. Are you Eastern time, Gerald?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are as well, Warper. You're on the East Coast, or really that side of the world.
Yep. EST.
Cool.
East Coast, Beast Coast.
Well, like I said, in theory, I still have access to all of it because I had Destiny 1 and all of the expansions. So in theory, I still have access to all of it. So if you wanted a third person to potentially do stuff with you, I can like re-download it and see if it's all still there and whatnot.
That sounds like a fun idea. When I actually have time to play games again, I will definitely
Dude,
hit
right?
you up on that offer.
Right. I got
Because
3 kids getting ready to start school again, and game time is not gaming time is not always abundant.
yeah, been between editing episodes, which admittedly I haven't had to worry about doing as much editing this time around, but with my with the stuff I'm doing for Lorehammer, and then I got 2 units of Dwarf Warriors left to paint and 2 units of Dwarf Quarrelers and Rangers to paint
Nice.
before I'm done with the Dwarf Battalion box. And I'm trying to do it by September 17th because one of my local GWs has like a founding event where if you bring in certain models that fit like these criteria, you get your you get it stamped off or whatnot, and then like you get your picture put up on a wall and like some other kind of perk for like their founders event.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
So I'm like halfway there, and so the last thing I gotta do is just like I have to submit 3 additional units, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
And so I finished my dwarf gyrocopter and gyro bomber. That's technically a unit. So I'm trying to finish the dwarf warriors and the quarrelers from the battalion box to round it all out.
Nice. So one thing I was going to ask, getting through all of the patron scrolls, a question.
I think that was the last of them. So if either you or Warper have a bunch of questions you want to ask, feel free.
I do. Warper, if you have any, you're welcome to go first.
Oh, you can go first. I need a minute.
No problem. So
you got to cook.
I do love cooking. I'm going to try to smoke some chicken wings tomorrow. But
that sounds so good.
All right. I did. We had some when we were visiting my family in Michigan, and my oldest daughter really liked them. So I want to try to do some smoked chicken wings tomorrow. But anyway, I've been, besides the food and the beer. So I said, Gerald, what is your favorite like episode topic that you guys have done? And Warper, for you as well, especially since you've been here since the beginning, like your favorite topic that they've discussed on Grimlore.
Phew, man, I gotta go through our library here, but
right, like I've been like binging them, so I know what things I would say. But I mean, opinions.
I know this is gonna sound like a cop out, but anytime that we've had a guest on the episode has always been a blast. It's always fun to, I mean, of course, it's one thing for Ray and I to go back and forth, elf versus dwarf and all that fun stuff. Yeah. But then having like that third, fourth, or even fifth person, we actually had one episode where we had 6 people in, and it was, but yeah, it's a lot of fun to have like, kind of like what you said, Fuzz, like just like a slightly different perspective on the lore of the topic that we're covering, and then just Lord knows with our beautiful baby boy Croxagore Coronate Toasty, our very huggable powerlifting knight of Nurgle, Big Joe, and hold on, let me make sure there's no Druki in the tavern at the moment.
I don't see
our esteemed partner and partial tavern owner, Dungledew's Scandalcock. The menaces. The menaces.
That's the word for it.
Yeah.
They make us each proud every time they appear.
Warper, do you have a favorite like thing that they've covered or episode that you just thought was really cool for whatever reason?
Gosh, I know the Skaven ones at the very beginning were pretty good.
Yeah, honestly, the Skaven, like that first Skaven episode, just like the energy behind it and everything, like really drew me in.
I'm glad that y'all were kind of drawn in from that. I don't know about Ray, but I know I was nervous as hell. Because I mean, obviously, first episode, going back over and like trying to figure out the editing process, and it just seemed like extremely scripted. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I was nervous as hell going over it. But I'm glad that y'all are enjoying that. Did you have a favorite topic that we discussed, Fuzz, other than the Skaven one?
The Skaven one was very good. And I will say I don't think it sounded necessarily like scripted. At least, especially like not in the way that like when we read notes for like Lorehammer, which is good in its own way. But like it sounded like Ray was following bullet points on a topic that he also just really knew and was very passionate about. And I know for me, I love listening to my friends talk about things that they care about. Mm-hmm. And it was very much that kind of energy. It's like, this is your buddy and he's talking to you about Skaven and he thinks they're really fucking cool. And he's going to tell you exactly why for the next 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. The funny thing about that is, like, when we stopped recording, Ray sent me a screenshot. He literally only had maybe 1 page worth of bullet points, and we were able to turn that into 2 hours worth of an episode.
Nice. But I say for me, like the ones that I've enjoyed learning about the most, unsurprisingly, one of them is the dwarf episode. That was for me,
yes.
For me recently. Like you know me, Gerald. I love everything dwarven, just like you do. It's all fucking great.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, the dwarves of Warhammer Fantasy, the old world, are really, really cool, and seeing a lot of like the influences that it is drawn from and places that have drawn influence from it is really cool. And then both the Dark Souls and Old World dragons, because I have always just thought dragons were super fucking cool, and they've always been one of my favorite things in fantasy and whatever. Just I used to have a huge collection of like dragon statues and figures and stuff and whatever, and just always love dragons. So I need more dragons. It's always good to me.
Mm-hmm. I actually have a few dragon statues in my house IRL. I need to send you a picture of them at some point in time.
Yeah, I've pared it down, especially like getting married and moving several times and having 3 kids and things taking up other spaces. I've had to pare it down a little bit, but I have a few choice ones that I have kept over the years.
Fantastic. Any other episodes that you liked, Warper, or topics of discussion?
Trying to think. It's funny because when I was like, my favorite type, I just go back to when it was just Dungo, me, and Zane. When we did a episode with just the 3 of us.
Oh, that one. That was
because I think you and Ray were busy. So you were just like, you 3, go.
So the story behind that is we were trying to get everything squared away for the Elder Scrolls episode after we had just done the Star Wars crossover. But then for one reason or another, either Ray couldn't get something scheduled with us, or then either Echo or Toasty couldn't get something scheduled with us. So then we spent like the following, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks just trying to get our schedules lined up to actually do it. So by the time it came for us to release another mainline episode, because we try to do every other week, and I was just like, well, I don't know what to do. So then I figured, okay, Ray and I have been kidnapped. I just need some volunteers, and it just happened to be you, Warper, Dungle, and Zane. And then I just gave y'all the setup of, okay, Ray and I are gone. Have fun.
Good luck.
And y'all did a really good job of it. So
these chaos goblins take over the tavern and see what happens.
Yeah.
Literally a bird, literally a cat, and then a too beautiful elf.
Got it recording, guys.
Oh my god. I'll say Dungle has a great podcasting voice. Fucking 10 out of 10, my dude.
Oh, yeah.
Warper, is there any like factions or anything that you'd like you would be like, hey, put this at the top of the list, you assholes?
Definitely not biased. Mass Effect.
Oh, Mass Effect's so good.
Don't worry, that's also on my list too. So
Oh god, I love Mass Effect so much. I actually enjoyed Andromeda too.
maybe I need to have you on too for Mass Effect because I don't know anything about Andromeda.
Okay, yeah, I was about to just start into a little rant about Andromeda, but I'm not going to do that right now.
Save it for when we do cover Mass Effect
Yeah,
at some point. So
yeah, Andromeda was mostly good in my opinion. I'll say that.
okay,
Got a
good
lot
stuff.
better after they fixed the bugs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just thinking from like a story perspective. Also,
Oh, yeah.
like I will forgive bugs. Like I will, especially like slight tangent, but just about like games in general is like knowing people that work in the gaming industry and like hearing about the shit that they have to deal with and things that they go through, whether it be from like management or just from a straight like programming side of things. I give games a lot more leeway because they will get fucked over in so many different ways to still try to put out the best thing that they can. It doesn't always work, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, some things come out and they're buggy, but like I just remember the first time that my friend was telling me that sometimes they have to leave bugs in because if they fix the bug, it breaks the game more.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I would forgive it more if they did kind of like what FromSoft actually did when they were working on Elden Ring. Like they promised one date, but then like maybe about a month before they said we're sorry, but we have to extend it due to whatever issues are going on. And I'm just like, I can forgive that because I trust at least with FromSoft, I trust that whenever they do release a game, you know it's going to be complete. You know it's going to work. You know you're in for a good time because they actually take care. It's when the developers do like like it's like you get like a half done game with like you make a point about like all the bugs, but when it's just like absolutely unplayable and unserviceable
Yeah, I know like
at launch, that's where I take a little bit of issue.
yeah, like Cyberpunk 2077 is probably the most egregious example
Yeah.
in recent memory. I can think of that. But like I'm with you, Gerald, 100%. And like every gamer I know is on that same page of like, if they're like, hey, we're going to delay the release of this so we can make the game better. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I would much rather you release the most polished and finished game you can rather than try to put it out on some arbitrary schedule. Like
Wait a
whatever.
month. So like, we
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
wait.
Exactly.
And
Like, a year, I don't care.
yeah, and to Lucas, and I think a good example of like, well, it wasn't necessarily delayed, but props to BioWare and I think LucasArts for their work on Knights of the Old Republic 2 because for the time crunch that they had to deal with, and then like all the missing pieces for like all the character lore and like all the choices and endings that you could have, they still did pretty darn good for all those constrictions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I know, like there have been some recently that have done that. They've been said we're going to delay this game for X amount of months because, like I said, we want to, or like sometimes it's like they'll put out a game like preview game for like reviewers to look at and whatever, and they'll get feedback and then they'll be like, oh, okay, we should not actually put out the game and we'll delay it. Like they also get some like real time feedback from people playing the game early, and then they also take that to delay it a little bit to fix things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
were there so other than Mass Effect, Fuzz, were there any topics that you're curious or would be interested to have us go over?
I'm trying to think because like I've just been really enjoying learning about Warhammer Fantasy because my first sort of like personal foray into anything Warhammer was in probably like early 2000s, like somewhere around like 2002, 2003. A like a Games Workshop opened up in the mall where I was living, and I had gotten for one Christmas the like starter Warhammer Fantasy box of like Imperial versus Orcs. Never finished building it or painting it or whatever, but like played the like test thing that they had out there in the store, and then it just kind of like got pushed back for other things until like I started learning about like 40K and whatever. So it's been really fun kind of going back to that little bit of what originally kind of got me to look at Warhammer at all, and like learning more about that world. If I trying to think what I honestly the more, and I don't know if there's an episode that I haven't gotten to yet because like I said, I'm still binging and catching up. But if you guys have you guys done a Cathay episode yet?
We have not. We have not done Cathay yet.
That is what I would say. I am super interested to hear Ray talk about his hot dragon waifu, who I am also like absolutely down with.
It's funny you mentioned that because I think they released the model of that hot dragon waifu, or they did like a preview of that model. I took a screenshot and then I sent it to Ray. I won't say what happened IRL, but as far as Tavern lore is concerned, I can say he yanked that scroll out of my hand and then ran away and then ran with it on his bolt to oath one. So
I'm trying to look. What was the character's name? Do you remember?
Miao Ying. Hold on. Let me.
Miao Ying. Yeah.
Miao Ying. Yeah. Yeah, Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon.
Storm Dragon. Okay, I see from 5 months ago. Hey, that dragon just looks really cool, and then like
it is so cool.
And then yeah, her I guess humanoid form also looks really fucking dope. Like that. That is stellar.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I know Cathay was somewhat mentioned when we talked about the ogres, and then again when we talked about the old world dragons, but like as far as like Cathay itself, we have not talked about.
Okay. Then I'll probably Cathay, like I think that sounds like a really interesting place that again, like thinking about some other franchises that have similar areas, like it reminds me a little bit of like I think it's like Tianjia and Pathfinder, and honestly just a lot of the Legends of the Five Rings setting. Just that like, Asian dragons, Eastern, from the Western perspective, Eastern culture.
Very, very cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely excited to learn about it because I've, if I'm not mistaken, I know elf simping aside, I think Ray's actual favorite faction is Grand Cathay, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I would believe that from listening to him. I would believe that 100%. Yeah, a Grand Cathay episode would be really cool. I've also just been enjoying just learning about all these other different franchises, either ones that I don't know, like shit for shit about, like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, or things that like I have like a decent knowledge of, but like love learning more, which is like Destiny and Halo. Like played a ton of the games. Like I think I've like for Halo I've played through 4, and enjoyed those. Enjoyed like the lore bits and whatever, and just learning more about it is always great. So, but
it's like you said.
Yeah, sorry.
It's like you said too, Fuzz. It's just like you're seeing folks like talk passionately about stuff that you also like, and said like it's really cool to hear about. Even if sometimes that opinion might be a hot take.
Oh, sure. And also, like you said, having these guests on for you guys can be really helpful from getting those outsider perspectives. Just for, in any hobby, I've got too many hobbies, and in all of them, especially once you've done it for so long, once you've been in the lore for so long, say for like fantasy or Destiny or Halo, or Dark Souls, whatever. A lot of the things you'll like take things for granted, like whether it's like knowledge bits or contextual things, and so you might skip them. And having guests like me who don't know anything, can lead to asking interesting questions or things that you maybe never thought of. Like I remember in the Elder Scrolls one that I'm currently listening to, Ray bringing up different ideas, or especially the Star Wars one. Like I remember Christian and Jordan really liking Ray's alternate idea for like the Yuzon Vong. And so getting like that kind of perspective when they wouldn't have gotten that in just a straight Star-Lord's episode, but having this crossover one, now this really neat idea for that comes to the forefront.
Absolutely. And the other cool thing too is just like you kind of brought it up, is like the metaphorical meat and potatoes of what Grimlore is about is Warhammer Fantasy. Hence all of us here in the tavern are based off of like someone from one of the Warhammer factions. But Ray's the kind of guy that likes to talk about things that he likes with a very passionately, and that is fantastic. And then of course as I've come into the Warhammer community a lot more. I actually started as a 40K guy, just by happenstance with a buddy of mine during the COVID pandemic, but that's a story for another time. So I came into it on the 40K side of thing, learned there was a fantasy counterpart that actually came first or whatnot. And so I thought, I was like, oh, these people, they actually like a lot of the same shit that I do and whatnot. So when we started this podcast, it was just like, yeah, we're going to mostly talk about Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar. But then Ray talked about, he really wanted to talk about Destiny 2 because that was like his other main thing. So then that's when we came up with the idea, well, what about every 7 episodes, he'll do a Destiny one and then I'll talk about Halo. Excuse me, because Ray knew about Halo, but he knew of Halo, but he didn't know like all the deep lore stuff about Halo. So that and it was the same way with me. Like I knew of Destiny, but I didn't know all the deep lore stuff. So that would have been a fun thing that we would have taught each other. And then of course having a rotating cast of guests on is always just such a pleasure. And then I think after the first Halo episode, I asked Ray, "Hey, there's some other really cool settings with like a bunch of grim darkness that we could talk about. What if every 10 episode, or sorry, every 11th episode, I'll lead in like a completely different setting just to kind of break the mold a little bit." He said, "Sure," and that's kind of how we did Dark Souls, then Dragon Age, then Dark Souls, Dragon Age, and then back to Dark Souls, I think. I gotta look at our library.
I'm through it. I actually just also listened to the Dragon Age episode, which was really cool. Hearing that, just from a you leading perspective, it was really nice to get that switch every once in a while of kind of who's the quote unquote main host, I guess you could say. But yeah, seeing you and hearing you kind of be at the forefront and taking the lead on the different lore aspects from the other franchises was really, really cool to hear also.
Thank you. I guess my question for you guys is there anything else that y'all would be interested in or want to see more of as far as the tavern? I know we talked about different episode ideas or anything. Since y'all are here, I'll just open up the floor to you guys. Is there anything that you'd like to see more of, or anything that we could tweak on our end to kind of make the experience just a little bit better as listeners?
I was off the top of my head. I can't think of anything specifically. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, the episodes sound fine. I don't have a problem hearing things. There's not weird noises. having the guests on, like I said, is always good. It's always nice to also like hear them more when they talk. And this isn't like a dig on like any other like guests. I know people have different levels of like comfort and things talking, but it's always nice to hear the guests like speak up and talk about their opinions on things and asking questions. I'm trying to also just not throw out just like random ideas for shit, because like I'll have a lot of ideas, but not always the best follow through of making them happen. Because also this is not my fucking show.
I mean, as long as you're enjoying what we're putting out, and we'll keep on doing to the best of our ability. What about you, Warper?
I cannot think of anything either, honestly. I know that the whole like you guys have a YouTube channel.
Yes,
working on one.
We have one. We're very slow to actually get our episodes transcribed and turned into video format, because I'm not a YouTuber technically. I don't know anything about editing videos and all that stuff, so I put that trust into Toasty, since he has had experience with it, and I know Ray's extremely busy with his stuff going on, so I try not to bug him about that. So, and Toasty being as busy as he is too, IRL, I know he does the best he can with getting those episodes out, but I make sure he's taken care of. Not in the way you think, Toasty. Stop it. I can hear you from whatever hole that corn put you in.
He means exactly what you think. Keep going.
So, Gerald, what are ways that we could help as patrons of the tavern to spread the good word of the Grimlore Tavern to other people?
Just spread the good word of the Grimlore Tavern, as weird as that sounds.
Just like telling your friends, share things on different social medias.
Share things on different social media. If you got a buddy or somebody that's interested in learning about Warhammer Fantasy, and just send them our way, and hopefully they'll enjoy, and hopefully they enjoy what we have to offer. I mean, that's pretty much the best thing that y'all can do. I mean, Patreon. The Patreon stuff's always nice, but I have made this point multiple times. I am not in this for the money. It is extremely nice, and we are eternally grateful for all of you for doing that, so that we can try to give you the best experience that we can. I like doing this just like what we mentioned before, Fuzz, before we started recording about just putting the fun in this, talking about stuff that we have a passion for, and then hoping other people enjoy the shenanigans along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
One thing I would definitely say that I do enjoy is that you do the amount of guests on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
because we got the regulars like Toasty, Joe, Dungle,
you,
me, Echo, Buzz. Soon to be Buzz. I'm sure Buzz is going to be a regular as well.
I have a very strong feeling. I have a very strong feeling.
It might happen. It might be a thing.
Yeah, we need to get our Bretonian Knight back on at some point. It's been a while since he was on. It's been a while since Astro has been on to derail us some more. He was the other unsung menace,
right,
for a time.
I'm really interested to be on if I have the time to be on a Warhammer Fantasy episode, just to from I've been recently binging all the different things and see where my mind might go for different questions for Ray and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Hopefully, like I said, I hope he has a safe trip back to Ulthuan for whatever it is he's doing. He seemed to have kind of left in a hurry, but I told him told him I'll manage the tavern and whatnot from here. So, but yeah, I had a train of thought and then I lost it. And
That was not my fault this time. I
no,
don't know
it
how to ride a train.
but yeah,
I could talk about like, you know, these different like topics and whatever for another hour, but it's we've been at this for a bit.
yeah, but as far as like the guest thing, so yeah, that's always been pretty the same. Like our main thing is not really our main thing, but it's just like as long as you're a patron, you can be a guest on our show. We do reserve the right to make an exception. Like I know Ray's buddy Shark was very helpful for the couple of times he was on a Halo episode, and then my buddy Brody was really great for discussing Dark Souls and stuff. So, but yeah, so as long as you're a patron, you are always welcome. Always welcome to come join. Like usually, if I know that we're going to be setting up a episode and we want guests, then I try to tag every patron for any to if there's any volunteers, and that's kind of how we've done it. I know our usual recording time is a little tough for a lot of people, and I do apologize, and that's just the nature of trying to schedule a podcast.
Oh yeah, I mean even just from seeing you guys and like Lorehammer scheduling things, and just even like myself, just trying to schedule a freaking tabletop RPG session is a nightmare. I can only imagine a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And this coming Friday, we'll be back on to doing more of our tavern tabletop. So that should be fun, and that's trying to schedule. That's also a nightmare. But well, looks like the repairs are actually coming by pretty well, minus a few Skaven and Zinchian mishaps.
Yeah, I think my guys have got the doors back on the hinges. Looks like the windows are moving pretty well.
Fantastic. Well, before we kind of round things out, Fuzz, Warper, do either of y'all have anything that you want to add before we let the workers go?
I'm gonna say, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, you go first, Warper. I've talked quite a bit.
Oh, by the way, little horse. Yeah, make sure to make a rune of explosion on the ale and the wolfstone catch. Perfect. Good job, guys.
Trying to make our drinks have a little bit of a kick. Would you say?
Oh yeah, I guess you can say that it's gonna be a explosive taste.
Let me know which ones they mark, and I will give the non-explosive ones to the humans.
Oh, even I don't know.
Oh, great! This is really gonna be a game of roulette.
I'll make sure to add some reinforcing to the bars, to the doors and the bar and the windows.
Please do. That's that pane glass is really expensive. And speaking of expenses, what's you're not a Ulthuan elf? Oh, this is from okay. Let me read this out. Quote I'm gonna actually edit this in post, but I'll read it for your guys' benefit.
Good.
To my subordinates in the tavern, one of my unpaid interns informed me of the double invasion that befell you. Shame I could not swoop in to save either of you, as I have been busy gyrocopter monitoring one of my sorceresses and her lawyer of a sister. Nevertheless, if this note finds you both yet clinging to life, then I will redouble my efforts to take over the tavern at a later date. For now, take this treasure to afford the necessary repairs in case you wasted your meager portion of the profits on warpstone and alcohol. During your renovation, please leave my quarters upstairs locked and undisturbed, or I'll make sure Raquella casts more than just testicular torsion next time. Pirate King Scalecock. Okay.
Where's this room? I want to put a little spy in there.
And cue explosion. What the What? Warper, why is your changeling on fire?
Oh, He's on fire again.
Wait, what do you mean there's a warding rune? No, why were you even up there in that room to begin with? That's Dungles. Ah, shit.
I'll go get some more building materials.
You get some more building materials. I'm gonna go check, make sure his stuff's undisturbed. And
I'll get the fire water.
Apprentice says this way. Come here.
Yep, okay, going up the stairs now. Like, surely what he has in this room can't be that bad. All right, let me just shed a little bit of light on this here. And holy shit!